Getting out of debt feels impossible, right? You're probably thinking it's all about cutting expenses, making as much money as you possibly can, living on some really strict budget that doesn't allow for any fun. But the truth is, the real reason people stay in debt isn't about their income or lack thereof, it's their mindset around money. My wife and I use these exact 7 steps to pay off $51,000 in 16 months. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to take control of your money once and for all with these mindset shifts so that you can dump debt and build wealth. Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Billy Pearse and welcome to my channel. Here you're going to find practical financial tips and proven strategies to take control of your money habits and build financial freedom. Now let's get into money mindset shift number 1. The first of these 7 financial mindset shifts is taking ownership of your financial situation. Many times when people are in debt, they blame it on external factors like that boss at work who won't give you that raise, or maybe it's the economy, maybe it's whatever the president is doing. But as soon as you take ownership and you realize that you have what it takes to control your financial future, that is the moment at which then you will begin to get out of debt and actually believe you can get out of debt. No one's going to do this for you. So like Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Taking ownership and having the belief that you can actually get out of debt is that crucial first step in changing your mindset around money in order to get out of debt. And a good way to reinforce this belief that you are actually in control of your money is just as simple as it is, just write it down on a sticky note and paste it somewhere that you see every day. Maybe it's your bathroom mirror, maybe it's in your car, somewhere where you see it every day that you are in control of your financial future. Write that down, and the more you see that, the more you will believe it. The second mindset shift in getting out of debt is having a very strong why. Why are you going to do this to get out of debt? It is not easy or necessarily fun to sacrifice and budget and not do fun things with your friends and family and work, maybe a side hustle, work longer hours at work. So having a really, really strong why to get out of debt is absolutely crucial. It's what my wife and I kept us going when we were getting out of debt for 16 months. We paid off our $51,000. It wasn't that getting out of debt was fun. It's just that we knew we had really specific goals that we wanted to achieve once we were debt free, and having that extra income freed up by not having any more debt would allow us to do those. If you're single, you can do this by yourself, maybe write down in a notebook or a journal, or if you're married, sit down with your spouse and just take 30 minutes and, brainstorm and dream a little bit. What could you do if you were debt free? What goals and ambitions do you have that you're not able to pursue right now because you've got all these debt payments? If you get your goals and what you want to be able to pursue when you're debt free out on paper, and you and your spouse, if you're married, or, even if it's just for yourself, being able to have that written out and those goals clearly in front of you of what you're striving toward, and having that very strong why is going to keep you going when you're slugging through your debt-free journey and you really just want to go splurge and spend money. But being able to always come back to that strong why you're doing this in the first place is going to keep you going when you really want to give in and just spend a lot of money. We talked about taking ownership of your financial situation and also having a strong why behind going on this debt-free journey and what's going to hold you accountable. So let me know what's part of your why. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to see what you guys are striving for and your reasons for getting out of debt and going on this journey. And so as we transition here into the third mindset shift that you're going to need to get out of debt, this is actually one that most people do without even realizing it. And that is not treating debt as an emergency and rather just treating it as normal. Society today, we're so heavily bombarded with debt and advertisements promoting debt, whether it's the form of credit cards or car loans or taking out massive mortgages. So once you've gone from treating debt as normal to treating it as an emergency, the first thing I would recommend doing is listing all your debts out smallest to largest, except for your home, and attacking that smallest debt first, regardless of interest rate. This is called the debt snowball method. I'll have another video, I'll link down below, explaining more about how to do this. But basically what you want to do is attack the smallest debt first. Any extra cash you have available, get that one paid off as quick as possible. Take all the extra money you have from it once that's paid off, and then apply it to your second smallest debt, and then work your way up to your largest debt. This is a great momentum builder when you're paying off your debt. Getting those quick wins early on, it's really going to build your confidence and belief that you really can do this and you can get out of debt. And that is why I highly recommend using the debt snowball method to pay off your debt. The fourth mindset shift is prioritizing progress over perfection. Especially early on, people get so wrapped up sometimes in making sure that their budget is absolutely perfect down to the penny. And if they overspend in one category, the whole plan's derailed. When really that's not the case at all. Everyone is going to struggle in the beginning with their budgeting and your debt-free journey. And if you do, it's perfectly normal. I know when my wife and I were at the beginning of our debt-free journey, we were overspending in some categories, underspending in other categories. And honestly, the budget at the end of the month looked like a complete mess. The point was that we were taking control of our money and we were creating a plan, imperfect as it may be, but we were focusing on the steps that we were taking to take control of our money, pay off our debt, and achieve our goals financially and becoming debt free. And so if you are in the beginning stages of paying off your debt, and you're struggling to stay on your budget, or if you overspend in some categories, I was there too. I completely understand how it is. So if you do overspend in one category, don't get discouraged. Stick with your plan. You're taking control of your money, and it's going to be worth it in the end. I promise you. And if you're finding this information helpful, consider liking and subscribing below so you never miss another video. And that takes us to mindset shift number 5, which is valuing financial freedom over stuff. It's no secret that here in America, we are bombarded 24/7 with ads from companies trying to get us to spend our hard-earned money on their goods and services. Are there things you should buy and that you probably need to buy? Yes. I'm not saying don't buy anything. I don't believe in that, obviously, but it's just being conscious of whether you're buying something out of necessity or if you're buying something that's more of a want and not really a need, when you could be buying your financial freedoms. And so a great strategy that my wife and I used when we were getting out of debt was asking ourselves before any purchase, is this purchase that we're about to make more important than becoming debt free? And almost always the answer was no. And it was something very important to us that we had in our budget. So especially if you're an impulse spender and you struggle with that and you feel like money just kind of slips out of your bank account and you're spending money left and right and you lack a little self-control, asking yourself that question before every purchase is really a great way to cut down on that impulse spending, just by asking yourself that one simple question. And that leads us to mindset shift number 6, which is believing that small steps do add up over time. So whether you're starting out and you're just only able to make an extra $30, $40, $50 payment here and there, every little bit that you can contribute to pay off your debt is going to help you in the long run. One of the best ways that I found in our debt-free journey was creating a visual tracker. And in our debt-free journey at my work, I had a whiteboard in my office, as you can see here, where I would cross out the numbers every single time we got to pay off another $1,000. And being able to see that progress visually every day at work and knowing what I was working toward with my wife was a huge motivator in us to help getting our debt paid off. So I'm going to include some debt-free trackers below, so you can check the description below for links for those. And you can either print them off or there's apps you can use too. So I encourage you in your debt-free journey, have a way to visualize your debt payoff journey. It's extremely powerful. And even if you're usually not into that kind of stuff, I promise you, it makes a huge difference. I was not really a believer in that whole visualization stuff of tracking things like this before I went on my debt-free journey with my wife. But once we did it and I realized the power of having that in my office every single day, it was an absolute game changer for us in our motivation. And that leads us to mindset shift number 7, which is embracing budgeting as a tool for freedom. A lot of times people think of budgeting as really restrictive and they can't have any fun, but really all the budgeting is like a GPS for your road trip across the country, but for your money. You would never go across the country on a road trip without opening up Google Maps or Waze and entering in your destination. Just like if you want to succeed financially, you got to have a roadmap for your money. And that's all a budget is. If you don't want to spend as much money, put it in your budget. It's up to you. You can make it as restrictive or unrestrictive as you'd like. So the main thing is and if you've never done it before, just get started. It's not going to be perfect right away, like I've said before, but getting started with your budget and taking control of your money is the first step to becoming debt free. And those were the 7 mindset shifts that my wife and I used to pay off $51,000 in 16 months. I hope they were helpful for you. Let me know down below in the comments which one you're going to be focusing on first. And if you have any other questions or comments, I try to answer every one I can. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Love to hear from you. And till next time, check out this video.